Greetings, friends, and welcome to the woods. I need to add something to the comments I made earlier, um, talking about the storyline, the the movie Primate, which came out recently. Now, when I talk about on Movie Monday, when I talk about the different films, the different stories, I'm not reviewing them. I'm not recapping them. I'm talking about discussing why these particular stories are showing up on our zeitgeist at this time because it says a lot about what's going on in our psyche. The universe isn't as random as we might think it is. You just have to pull back and see the bigger picture. Now, stories, what we tell each other, the narratives, while they are a big assist for our psyche, just as dreams are, they are the collective dream. It's a big assist to our psyche to understand our world and to figure out how to fix things. It can also be used against us by others who are aware. Our farmers and those who manage us on their behalf are very aware of how we work. They know how to manipulate us. They've been doing it for a very, very long time. And part of their manipulation is to plant their messages into our stories, the narratives, the dreams that we come up with. They will try to corrupt or change, sometimes subtly, so that they can get their message across. Those of us who are tuned to a different frequency can often recognize that. And we simply divert our consciousness into seeing what's really underlying the story rather than the message that they hope to push on us. And sometimes when they, well, recently quite often, when they get very heavy handed about inserting a message into their work, people they sense it on a very deep level and they reject it. And that's been happening a lot, which is why Hollywood, the big studios, have been having such a rough time these past few years because those who manage us have been frantically trying to impress us with certain concepts and ideas that don't fit. They don't fit. And they're trying to make it fit. Some people contort themselves enough into accepting what they're being told on a subconscious level is true, but very many people have just brushed it off and looked for other ways to entertain themselves, other stories, stories of the past, stories told by people who don't have all of the money and all of the production values. Now, the reason I bring this up, our emotions are powerful. They're a battery. Our awareness, our attention, our focus is what allows reality to take shape. And our focus will send the energy, the battery, the energy, the energy in motion. We'll send it where it needs to go to have reality take a certain shape. They try to soften the way and get us to buy in, to empower a certain reality when they released the movie Contagion. They wanted to plant the seed of a worldwide pandemic that would kill many people and disrupt society and just terrible that would arise spontaneously out of nature. They they put their propaganda out because that's what it is. And a lot of us who love stories and story, we I sat through it and it left a very bad taste in my mouth and a very sick feeling in my stomach because I got that this wasn't a storyline that was meant to enlighten and show us on our soul's journey the wise way or provide a caution or in any way be beneficial. It was attempting to plant a seed of fear into us so that when they implemented a plan of worldwide disruption along the lines of what they presented, that we would be conditioned to it. We wouldn't question, we wouldn't ask why we were being asked to do things. We would just fall in line. That was the plan. And there's a similar plan with this movie. Well, what I said is true about what it represents on a deeper level. I learned recently that the big pharmaceutical, one of them, has created a rabies vaccine that they want all humans to take. And what better way to scare us into taking a treatment that hasn't been properly vetted, because most of these vaccines that have come out, they don't have long-term studies. They don't have placebo-controlled studies. When they have a placebo, it's another vaccine rather than a true saline, a true control. And how would you test for the rabies anyway? It's whenever you have a product that the people creating the product have no liability for, they can't be held responsible if something goes wrong, which is true of all vaccines. That was decided in the 80s with the one set aside that they had to report they had to keep research on it, and they had to report back to, I believe it was Congress, every, was it 5 years, 10 years, which, by the way, they did not do. It's never happened. So they have no responsibility, no fiscal responsibility. They don't have to answer in court to anything that they do wrong. They get sued, then the taxpayers pay it. We have a fund that goes to pay anyone who might have been harmed by these products. When you have a situation like that, and you can make so much money scaring people into taking your product, then why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you, help fund a storyline that lets people know exactly how dangerous something like rabies is? So when a shot comes out for it, they oh yeah, please give it to me, please, because I don't want to turn into if it could do that to a primate, a monkey, and they're so similar to us genetically, it could do that to us, and I don't want to attack my family. I don't want to have murderous intentions. And yes, our storylines are one of the most fundamental things about humans is the stories we tell each other, our music, our art. It's such a basic thing. It's such a human thing. And it can be weaponized against us, like all beautiful, sacred human things. And they have in the past, and they will be again in the future. Because there are people who get money and power, and money is power, by us. They get it from us. Our energy, our vitality, our money, our behavior. So, another reason for that storyline, I still say that as an adventure movie, it's okay. I still say it has a really important message about family coming together and the importance of that. I still say it had a very powerful message of people's disquiet and fear of what's familiar, what's known to them, turning against them, because we're seeing that. But tacked onto that, this other little dangerous message of fear this, because soon we'll have the answer. Remember that movie that you saw? Remember what happens to people who get rabies? Remember how they go out of control and kill everybody? Yeah, remember that? Yeah, take your shot. Something to think about. And welcome to the woods.